This is a truly classic film. Its unique visual aesthetic is unmistakable, the characters look bizarre and eccentric, and the art direction is dark and twisted. But this visual style isn't built on pure horror alone. Mars Attacks was the director's attempt to intentionally shift his style, yet you can still spot his signature touches, like the goofy, memorable Martian designs, and the delightfully morbid head-exploding scenes. The film also pulls from many classics. Its homage to The Day the Earth Stood Still is obvious at a glance. The stitched-together body parts and heads that stay alive carry a strong Frankenstein vibe, possibly influenced by the 1985 B-movie Reanimator. And the Secretary of Defense, who keeps insisting on launching nukes, is nearly identical to the character in Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove. This all-embracing movie lover spirit is exactly what makes Mars Attacks a cult favorite for so many sci-fi fans. A massive fleet of Martian ships suddenly surrounds Earth. The US president, instead of panicking, is thrilled. He immediately puts on his sharpest suit and prepares a heartfelt speech. He wants to announce to the world that he is the one who made America great again. At this historic moment, the live broadcast begins, and the public doesn't panic either. Businessmen smell opportunity, the media sees a guaranteed blockbuster story, and even ordinary citizens and soldiers are excited for the Martians' arrival. At the White House, Chief Science Advisor Donald is being interviewed by TV host Natalie. The two even flirt on air, but the mood changes fast. A Martian hijacks the signal and suddenly appears on screen. He rambles in an unknown language, makes a strange hand gesture, then vanishes. Research begins immediately. Donald briefs the president and military leaders. He is convinced the Martians are friendly, and presents 3 theories. 1. They're carbon-based life forms. 2. They breathe nitrogen. 3. Their brains communicate telepathically. As for their intentions, he believes their moral level matches their technological level, meaning humans are actually the more aggressive side. Another scientist unveils a translation device. It detects references to a long Martian history. The next morning, the Martians announce they will land in a small town in the Nevada desert. The Secretary of Defense panics and demands military action, but the president appoints General Casey as the official greeter, instructing him to show goodwill. The military presence is only for control. Hours later, General Casey arrives at the landing site. He excitedly tells his wife this mission will make him famous. Crowds gather to witness history. Pacifist Barbara arrives, hoping the Martians will inspire humanity. New recruit Billy is full of patriotic passion. Natalie and star reporter Jason are on scene, while the president and first lady watch from the White House. A giant saucer descends. It lands perfectly. The ramp extends like a giant tongue. A Martian ambassador and his guards walk out. General Casey offers a handshake, but the ambassador doesn't understand it. Thinking fast, Casey mimics the strange hand gesture from the broadcast. The Martian responds positively. The translation machine is ready. Casey formally welcomes them on behalf of Earth. The Martians reply, "We come in peace." The crowd erupts. Someone releases a dove of peace, but the Martians panic. As the bird flies closer, the ambassador shoots it down, then he blasts General Casey. Without hesitation, chaos explodes. The military fires back. Civilians run in terror, but against Martian tech, humans are hopelessly outmatched. Billy charges forward heroically, but dies before firing a shot. His parents watch helplessly on TV. Natalie falls and injures herself. Jason tries to save her, but is vaporized, leaving only a green skeleton. When the massacre ends, the Martians take Natalie and her tiny dog back to their saucer. Inside the White House, panic reigns. The Secretary of Defense rages that they should have struck first. He demands nuclear action, but Donald insists it was just a cultural misunderstanding and urges continued diplomacy. The president chooses peace. That night he sends a personal message to the Martians. The Martian leader bursts out laughing. Meanwhile on the saucer, Natalie's head is swapped with her chihuahua's head at Billy's funeral. His confused grandmother arrives. Byron prepares to return home to his 2 wild but kind sons. Soon the Martians respond. They apologize and request to address Congress. The president is ecstatic. The saucer arrives on time. The Secretary of Defense surrounds the building with troops. The ambassador takes the podium, gabbling nonsense. Before translation finishes, he pulls out a laser and slaughters Congress. Donald bravely confronts them, but is knocked out and dragged away. Congress is obliterated. The Secretary of Defense orders an attack, but the saucer is invincible. The Martians escape with Donald. The crisis worsens. The Secretary of Defense again demands nuclear authorization. The president refuses and chooses to address the nation. Donald becomes the next experiment. His body is taken apart, but his head remains alive. Dog-headed Natalie rolls over to him. They greet each other and admit their feelings. The Martians then send a seductive female agent. She wears human skin, chews nitrogen-releasing gum, and infiltrates the White House. She seduces the press secretary, bites off his finger, and sneaks into the president's bedroom. The family dog senses danger and alerts security. The agent briefly takes the president hostage, but Secret Service kills her. The Martian leader is furious and orders a full invasion. Cities burn. Byron's sons, touring the White House, grab abandoned laser guns and fight back. The first lady is crushed by a chandelier, and the president's daughter is separated. The boy's sharp shooting helps escort the president out. Vegas falls into chaos. Barbara loses her husband instantly. Singer Tom Jones keeps performing in his nightclub. As destruction closes in, Byron rushes home. Barbara appears and mentions a private plane, but no pilot. Tom escapes the nightclub, runs into them, and joins the group. Back home, Billy's brother Richie wants to rescue their grandmother from a nursing home, but his parents care more about protecting the TV. The French president calls to brag about making peace. The US president urges him to run, but it's too late. Paris is destroyed. Finally, the president orders a nuclear strike. A nuke launches, but the Martians deploy a tiny bubble that absorbs the blast and turns it into energy. The leader inhales it like a snack. Mt. Rushmore is altered to display Martian heads. Tokyo sees a giant Martian war robot. It destroys Richie's trailer, but he escaped just in time. He insists on rescuing his grandmother. Byron's group reaches the airport. A tourist wanders off and is instantly vaporized. The war robot chases Richie. He tricks it and knocks it over. Before reaching the nursing home, inside, everything is destroyed. His grandmother is listening to music, completely unaware of danger. At the last second, Richie unplugs her headphones. Her yodeling music blares out loud. A miracle happens. The Martians can't stand yodeling. They scream in agony and collapse. Meanwhile, the Martian leader reaches the president's bunker. The Secretary of Defense makes a last stand with 2 pistols, but a shrink ray reduces him until he's crushed underfoot. The president, cornered, delivers a passionate speech. The Martian leader pretends to be moved, then stabs him with a spike. The real heroes are Richie and his grandmother. They broadcast the yodeling music from a radio station. Martians drop dead everywhere. Flying saucers crash. Before the end, Donald and Natalie's heads finally touch, and they kiss. The war is over. The president's daughter awards Richie a Medal of Honor. Rebuilding begins. Byron reunites with his family. He was only knocked out, and Earth finally returns to life.